Hello everyone, and welcome back for another Pick a Butterfly card reading. If you are new here, my name is Betty Dubois and this is Butterfly Whispers. Today we're going to be looking at my predictions for June 2020. In front of you, you see three butterflies. Butterfly 1, Butterfly 2 and Butterfly 3. Take a moment, look at these butterflies and choose the one that's calling to you. So if you chose butterfly number 1, let's have a look at what's in store for June 2020. Okay, so first up I'm seeing some issues with a friendship, a relationship, and this is more likely family members and everything, not a personal love romantic relationship. It's more of a friendship, or like your cousin, your sister, your brother, mum and dad. So there's some sort of issue there. It may be a small health issue, and there looks like a successful intervention of some sort. So let's say this is a kidney, for instance. There's been some sort of kidney problem going on. There's some sort of intervention, possible surgery. It's very successful. This is going to be a big change around for everybody. The lovely Seven of Hearts is sitting there, so anything to do with any medical things, any health issues that you might have right now. This is telling me that with a little bit of structure and change in your life, that you're going to start to set the ball rolling to be a healthier version of yourself, or you're going to be assisting a family member with this sort of thing. So if someone in the family is not well right now, it might have been something long term. I'm hearing the word long term. It might have been something that's been going on for a little bit of a time. It's about to come to a pinnacle and it's going to be successful. It's a good thing. I'm not feeling like it's going to happen in June. I feel there's a lead up. There's a little bit of more... There's more things to be learned before we move on to, let's say this is surgery over here on the end, or this is a type of therapy. I'm not really seeing anything to do with any type of new medications or anything like that. I'm more seeing some sort of therapy or actual surgery that's going to happen here. It's going to be successful, but I think July is going to be the time where this sort of thing is going to happen. I'm also seeing a lot of female energy here, and almost like a twin symbol. So like I said, I feel this is like brother and sister, two sisters together, a cousin, something like that. So there's some sort of possible medical procedure going on, and it involves more than one family member, but it is a happy outcome. One person in this surgery or whatever it is that's coming up, one person is a bit apprehensive at the moment. They're wanting to do it, but they're scared. They're worried about what the outcome would be. I'm looking at this and I'm not seeing a negative outcome whatsoever. I'm seeing that this is all systems go and that the fears are unnecessary. Also, what I'm seeing here, if we just take a turn for a different turn here and look at money, finance, work, things like that. I see a little bit of work, but let's say you worked for 4 hours, you're getting paid for 4 hours. That's sort of like getting paid what you're used to. It's a normal sort of a pay. Someone here is making a decision for their own peace of mind, their own health, their own future. And then it's almost like a payout situation. So if you were putting $4, investing it into something, it looks like a turnaround where the money's going to double, but not in June. It looks like July is going to be more favourable than June. June is going to be where you put the grounding blocks down to move forward. Now, I do feel there may be the three is a crowd situation going on here as well. It's almost like you've got your ideas set. You've been studying or you've been researching what it is you need to do in regards to work or finance. And there's just this other person that keeps putting their little bit in to your story, and they're trying to, well, not try to interfere, but it feels like they're interfering. But what I'm seeing here is that although they might be annoying at times, or you feel like you'll say salt, they'll say pepper, you say black, they say white, it will turn out and you can blend the two situations. I also feel there's creativity that has been stifled for whatever reason, but it's about to turn around. Now, if you are a teacher or a daycare worker, look after children in some way, or you teach something, singing, dancing, whatever it is, like I said, I feel a lot of creativity here. This is more than your normal everyday clock in 9 to 5 type job. This is more like something where I feel dancing, singing, acting, creating, even a chef in the kitchen, creating something new. It's going to feel like there's a little setback, but as soon as you get some more information surrounding it, this is like learning a lesson from the past, learning a lesson from what's just happened. It's almost like if you look at these cards, we've got 3, 4, 7. 6 is missing. 6 is June. So it's almost like 3, back in March, there may have been a disruption between you and a partner, not a romantic partner. Again, I need to instill that. This is more of a friendship type thing I'm seeing there. There may have been, it went a bit off the scale. And then through April, there was this feeling of his way, her way, or she's doing this, I'm doing that. There's two sort of ways pulling at each other. So April was like where you couldn't come to an agreement on things. May is missing. And then June, which is coming up next. So May missing and June missing is telling me that this sort of one-sided type thing and not gelling together is going to continue a little bit more through June. But this is a very positive spread in front of me, because every card except for this one little 4, this one little fly in the ointment, everything is red. And you always want red cards when they come out, because they're just positive things that are going to happen. So if you're investing in a business or you're creating something new, there's going to be a bit of delay to it, but keep persevering at it. Get some more information. Go back to school if you need to go back to school. Get that uni degree or get that TAFE certificate, whatever it is you need to do. Get some more learning behind it, some more skills behind it, because it's going to be profitable. Once we hit July, things will turn around financially. Now, it could also mean that if you're waiting on a payout of some kind, July is when it's going to come. You may get a portion of it because we're looking at June, but I feel it's going to be July before things start to pan out. And then September, things should really be picking up as far as business and a friendship coming back together, but in a new way as well. So if you've had a bit of a falling out over the last couple of months, it should come back together. If the family's had a bit of a problem, and don't forget, I did see that there's possible surgery, but successful surgery here as well. One last thing before I move on to the rest of the cards here. This sequence is fertility, the 9 months of pregnancy, and the 4s represent female, baby girls. Now, because there's one black and one red, it can mean twins. It can mean that you already have a little girl and you're having another little girl. And it also can mean that you're pregnant with a little girl and your best friend or somebody else in the family is also. There's two symbols here. Now, sometimes when I get this, just to finish this part off, I do work as a psychic medium, not just reading cards. And I'm getting a message clear as a bell here, something to do with April and a very feminine energy. So this female who is not with us anymore, she's sending you love. She's sending you direction and trying to help you open up your eyes, prick up your ears, listening to what's going on and move forward and follow your dreams. But she's sending you love. We got the love everywhere. The way she would have passed, we do have a surgery card here. We do have a very feminine energy, which can represent a female illness. The breasts, the reproductive organs, the ovaries. She also is showing me her the pelvic area. So anything that fits into the pelvic area, the lower spine, the hips, the bladder. Now, whether she's young or old, I'm not too sure. I feel there's more than one female energy coming through, of course, because a lot of people are going to hopefully watch this video and there's someone trying to come through for you. So if that makes sense to you about April 444, something to do with the surgery, it's almost like people wanted this person to have surgery. Maybe they didn't want to do it and they did it and they all thought it was successful. But then, like, obviously the person's not here anymore, so that sort of didn't work for them. So this is separate to what I was reading before. When I'm reading this, this is successful surgery. But for the person that's trying to come through, they're trying to show, I feel like they just sort of lived their life to the end and they could have had a surgery or something, but they decided not to. So yeah, they've popped in to say hello, and I find that a lot when I'm doing the readings, even when I'm trying to do predictions and things. They do want to come in, and I do need to pass those messages on. I'm wondering if, because April's there, because I'm hearing April in my head, I'm wondering if her name starts with A, or even starts with D. So like Diane, or it could actually be Alexis, or Angela, or anything that starts with A or D. And I'm feeling a foreign sound in my head as well. So that's why I kind of came through with this Angela thing. So I think it may be Italian, Greek, Europe somewhere. So there's something there as well. But they're just here to let you know that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to pan out. But July is where I feel things will be more beneficial. There might be a little bit of struggle through June, but I'm not seeing anything major. I am seeing that if you've sort of put something on the back burner here, you might have been looking after family or having everybody looking after everybody else's needs in your own home. It's time to do something for yourself. So this is where there's this turnaround and breaking off from that. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. The Fairy of Growth has come out. The 333s are coming out. So like I said, there's more than one female energy coming through. They're stipulating about 3 and March and 33 and 33 and something to do with all of that and the threes. She might be trying to say there were 3 of us, 3 sisters, because we got all female energy. Or she might be trying to say you're going to have 3 children, or you're going to be around 3 people. So 3 is very prominent in the month of June. If you like to take a little gamble on things like lotto and everything, don't forget these numbers: 3, 44, 33, 7 and 9, because that can be a win and a payout that's sitting over there, and that would be lovely. I have had a client once that came in and I was talking all about a win and a lottery, and she actually had won, I think it was something like 250,000 while she was sitting in my seat, and she didn't even know she had the ticket. So that was really lovely for that client. So I am seeing a possible win, but it's only a small investment. So don't go out and buy a $400 ticket. Buy a $4 ticket or a $10 ticket at the most. This is like a little payout, but it's worth it. So you might be lucky. But the Fairy of Growth, this is about growing something. Like I said, I keep coming back to someone creating something. So if it's not an actual baby, it's a birth of a business, a birth of a friendship, a birth of a new idea, a new product. Get cracking, get onto it. The 7 also represents that, busy hands and creating, making something new. Follow your dreams. We've got the dream card. So lastly, we got the card of acceptance. So acceptance would be feeling like you need to be accepted back into the circle, or accepting the things the way that they are, and then things will go more smoothly. Now, it brings me back to the medical situation I was talking about before, and there's some sort of little bit of doubt and fear going on here. If you are scheduled for some sort of surgery, I do feel it will be successful in July. I'm seeing it in July, and an acceptance of this, and having some trust. I'm surprised the trust card didn't come out. I'm just going to grab another card over from this different pile I've got over here and just see what else comes out. That's reaping what you sow, and it's a 10 of diamonds, which is like property and everything. So it's showing me that over June, you're going to be building and building and building on something. You may have a little setback. Don't let it get you down. And it may happen around the 4th, and that's why I'm seeing 4s here. But anyway, harvesting the crop. So this is really good that you're harvesting the crop here. So yeah, very good reading, very positive reading, and I hope that you enjoyed that. Okay, so for all of those that chose butterfly number 2, let's see what's happening in June 2020. Okay, so straight away I'm seeing this selection of cards is all about business. It's all about talking the truth, and it's a business decision that's going on as well. Someone wants to make moves. Someone wants to move. They might want to move shop. They might want to close a particular shop and move to a different place. They might even want to sell up their home and move interstate, or even want to travel overseas. So it's showing that that's what they want to do. But during June, there's going to be a family member or a good friend. There's some sort of incident of some kind that prevents anything from happening at June. It's similar like in the last section of cards that I did, where the 7 is showing me that July is more profitable. So we're in May right now. We got the 5 in the middle there, which is representing of May. June is showing it's sort of like May's the let's make the plans, let's move, let's shut the shop, or let's open up a new shop, or let's change the business around. One part of the business, let's say there's 2 business owners, there may be 3. I just feel like the 3 is more of a third wheel. So let's say we got 2 people, one of them's married, one of them's not, or one of them lives with their mum and the other one lives on their own. The one who's got the partner or the mother or the father or somebody else, they try to help, but it's more of an interference than help at this stage, because the 2 business partners come together and they discuss what they want to do with the business and with the movement, but then one of them goes home all settled in what they've decided, while the other one goes home and the mother or the wife or the brother or the sister or whoever it is, or even the best friend, it might be 2 friends living together, when they go home and discuss it with them, they're getting a negative tone from the person that they're talking to, that they trust or that they live with. So my advice here would be keep business with business. And when you go home, talk about the weather, talk about what's for dinner, talk about other things, but not about your business plans or what you're planning on doing, especially if you're feeling that you're getting a bit of a negative undertone to it all. I just feel like it could be successful and the move is a beneficial one, but there's almost like a resistance from one side of this decision. So let's say that you're thinking, okay, I've always wanted to go pack up and live in Queensland. You want to do it. Your business partner or the people that you work with, they're planning on doing it. But then your family at home, or your daughter, your son, your sister, your brother, whoever it may be, they're really resistant to all of that change. They don't want to do it. This is a good change. This is something that will benefit the future financially, and it's got travel and change. There's a lot of change going on here. But this black 3, is someone that's just, they don't want to change. They don't want things to change. They want things back the way they were. So if you are planning on some sort of business adventure, or getting on that plane, or getting in the car and packing everything in it and just moving, changing everything, I do feel you'll do it, but it's almost like someone gets left behind. So it could be, like I said, it may be that best friend. I don't feel it is a wife or a love relationship partner type thing that's left behind. It's more or less a friendship or an extended family member, or it's just someone that's getting put off to one side. Well, we've got one man that's all about, we've got one symbol that's all about the business person, the person that's all about making the money, how are you going to make the money, how are you going to make a change. We've got the other one, he's very busy, or she even though they're kings, I do say in my readings that picture cards are people. So to me, I don't really focus too much on the whole thing that this is two males here. Unless I'm dealing with things like someone trying to crop in from the other side, which I do feel that's what's happening in this sequence as well, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, so these are business people. We have a very, very business-minded person on one side who's everybody's best friend. And then we have the other one who's also very business-minded, but they're very money-orientated, which is not a bad thing. It's just that this one's very one-sided about things and this one's very one-sided in a different way. And I just feel someone's getting lost in the mix here. The good thing is that people are telling the truth. Now, also, there may have been plans before COVID hit us all out of nowhere. There may have been plans to buy that new car or do a big move, a business move or a house move, sell the house, move. There may have been all these plans in progress, but I'm seeing that the plans are sort of dwindling down. And again, I do feel like one of these people in this picture has got this negative influence around them and it makes them second guess everything. Now, I did say that I feel like there's some sort of energy coming through on this reading. It's been happening all the time when I'm reading that lately, and I do need to get the messages out there. We do have a male. We have two males in particular. Like I said, one would have been everybody's mate, everybody's friend. He would have been there when the chips were down. I do feel that he's trying to say some sort of apology because I feel that there was some sort of breakdown of communication at the end. I do feel that he may have been out of sorts with a brother, a sister, a cousin, or a best friend. There may have been a breakdown between the two of them, and they used to be mates or they used to be close, and before he passed, they didn't get the chance to fix it. So he's just popped in to say an apology and that he's around and he's seeing the movement and the change and everything. So it could also be like looking back at what I just said about that one person wants to move and everything. It could be that the other person has lost someone, and some people get very emotional about an actual place and they don't want to move because they feel like they're moving away from the person that used to be there that's no longer with us anymore, and they feel a reluctance and they feel a pain inside to move away from that. It's like they're moving away from them. But when they're in spirit, they move with you anyway. That's how my personal opinion. You might have a different opinion to that out there, but I don't feel it matters where you live or even if you live in a different country. When someone's passed, I feel that they're in your heart, they're in your soul, and they're with you always. But yeah, there is a feeling of someone that's trying to come through. They want you to make those positive financial changes for your future. Now, there will be a downturn through June financially, but I feel it's to invest in something new, to invest in that new business. And I feel the business is involved in, there is creativity there, but there's no heart. So I'm feeling this is more to do with creativity for a product line. It could even, I'm tasting food and everything, so this could all to be doing with a restaurant or a fast food thing or something like that. There will be investment in money, so of course there's a bit of a drop, but the money is stable. Things are stable. But yeah, there's a creativity type thing going there, but it also may have something to do with movement as far as taxis, buses, trucks, transport of some sort, planes. There's some sort of movement as far as the business goes. So it may be that because of what happened with COVID, let's say that you worked at a cafe or you owned a cafe, and of course it all got closed, and then you had to work out and restructure, how do we turn this sit-down restaurant or sit-down cafe into a takeaway? And it may have been a little bit profitable when you were doing that, but one side, like I said, one side of the business is seeing that they can make money out of money. The other side is seeing that they don't feel it's going to work that well. So there's some sort of business decision going on here. If there is a third wheel, if there is a third negative influence, you need to cut that off. You need to cut off that third influence, and you need to get back to talking business with the correct people. So I'll just see what else we've got to add to this. Okay, we've got a child in the mix as well. So the child can be an actual child that I'm being told something about a baby boy here, and it may be a message from beyond, because 2-4 is the family, the partnership, 2-4-6. So we got the little child here popping in. Now it also could be telling me truth and laughter, because as you know, children, they tend to tell the truth even when it's hard. You know, they might come out with things that you wish they didn't say, but they're truthful, they're innocent. So there's a childlike quality coming through here. Now, I'm not too sure whether this is the message I'm getting through from beyond, and they're trying to show that they could have been mature and old, because we've got the kings, which represents maturity, age, but they were a child at heart. They were childlike, and they had a good heart, a good soul. Again, I feel this apology thing. I keep hearing this apology thing. So getting back to June, I do feel that this is an adventure. This is something new, and be true. Be true to what it is you want to do. There will be a drop in finances. Be prepared for that. There will be a drop. So if it was $7,000, it's more like going to drop down to $5,000. But right now it's not showing me where that's going to go from here. It's just showing me in June, be prepared for a bit of a drop. But have some fun while you're doing this stuff. And get back together with family, because the 2-4 is like, get some more family or friendship type stuff going on, and try and mend this bridge too. There's this little bit of frustration and anger going on over here in this thing. Commit to your happiness. I feel that this, remember I said right at the beginning, this is all about business. This is all about business. There's no love cards here. There's no family or whatever. Now the cards are all coming out. It's someone, I feel, the spirit from the other side, they're trying to tell you, commit to your happiness. Be a child again. Have some fun. And it might be telling you, all business will make you tired, angry, frustrated and everything. Have some fun in your life. Spend some time with family. I do feel there's some reconnecting needs to go on here. And be truthful. Now that can be truthful to the people you're talking to. And I said right at the beginning, this is all about truths. People speaking the truth about a financial business situation. But this is also using your inner voice and talking to yourself and being truthful to yourself. I'll just quickly grab a couple of cards from over here, or just one of these. Yeah, so through June, we've got truth coming out. So if you have been in the dark about a situation, it may be that truth will be revealed. You do feel like it's a heavy mountain to cross. But I also, when I see the mountains, like don't make a mountain out of a molehill type situation, I also see that it's travel, going over the mountain. So you can see that where you're feeling like it's building up. There's a mountain to cross. And I keep coming back to this thing about the third wheel. Now, I don't feel like if someone at home, a child, a friend, because we did have the child card come out. So it might be, if we move, what about our daughter? What about our son? I do feel it's a male, so it would be a male child, a boy. There's someone that doesn't want to move. They just don't want to do it. But it could work if you go. It could work. And it's just like, at the moment through June, you're just going to feel like it's all just a bit too much to do it now. But it will happen. You need to commit to the happiness. You need to look inside and seek your own inner truth and find that childlike quality again. But this also could be a message to those people out there that are working back-to-back hours, working long shifts and that. Take a bit of time out and spend some time with family, with the children. Go out to the park with them. I went today. It was beautiful. Sun was shining. Took my grandson out. It was just fantastic. So get out there and smell the roses, smell the fresh air, breathe it all in and out. So for June, I feel that there's a big move on the horizon Whether you will actually go in June, I just feel there's a delay there. And I do feel once the decision's made, July is where it's happening. So I'm keen to get onto July's reading when we get there, because I feel like things are going to turn around for a lot of people when we hit July. Anyway, that's butterfly number 2. I hope you enjoyed that and it gave you some clarity. And let's move on. Okay, last but not least, if you chose butterfly number 3, let's see what's happening for June 2020. All right, we have a commitment to a relationship. We have the lovey guy. We have the family man, the supporting role, the one that's got your back. So during June, there may be a stressful, angry type situation arrive, but he's there to just keep the peace. We do have the woman who's, she's just had a lot of hard times in her life. She's got a lovely document coming her way. The document is in her favour. So if she's, let's say she's had a medical issue going on, she's going to get a letter to say that things are on the right track now. If she's been studying or working really hard, she's going to get that certificate. It could even be someone that's been waiting for a divorce paper to come through. It's showing me a positive document, legal document in her favour. Now it's also showing me that she's very, very busy up in her head. She's overthinking things and she's stressing herself out, but she'll be the type of person that through June, if this is you, this is where you're hiding how you actually feel and you're very, very frustrated at times. You're wanting to let things out, but then you use your head and you think things through and you do things a different way around, but inside you could be like screaming and wanting to shout at people, but you won't. I do see that you're looking towards a bright, stable future where you're making the plans, especially to do with work, business, things like that. You're trying to get things balanced between, we got the home life and the marriage and the lovey sort of situation going on this side. Then we've got this irresponsible actions. Now, when I see a 6 and it's black between 2 people, if I think of this as a married couple, husband and wife, or whatever type of relationship you have, when I see the black 6 in the middle, it's almost like if there was 3 kids in this family, one partner is doing all the work and the other one's either not at home, they're not there, or if they are there, they sit around doing nothing. And that's why I see this woman that she's taking a lot on board, but she's not saying much about it. So if you're in that situation right now that you love your partner and you're he's there for everybody, he's got everybody's back and he'll stand up for people, and you pick up the phone in the middle of the night and you're crying, he's there to hold your hand. But when it comes to responsibilities, who's going to take that garbage out? Who's going to go pick up those kids? Who's going to go and pay these bills? He's just sort of like, it'll be all right. And the woman or the partner in this situation, as I said, depending on what sort of relationship you have, it's all left with that one person holding the bag. Okay, so also, I just see that a loving relationship between 2 people, male, female, whatever it may be, there's just too much one-sided stuff going on when it comes to responsibilities, and someone keeps being irresponsible. Is it him or is it her? I don't know, because it's sitting in between the 2 of them. It's almost like he thinks she's irresponsible, she thinks he's irresponsible, but they have a good union together and they have a good emotional balance. But then there's something where I can't work out which one of them is irresponsible. And it's almost like a fight between the children as well. Like if they've got one daughter, let's say, she feels he always takes the side of the daughter, or he feels she's too soft on the daughter. It's something like that. He said, she said. This set of cards here going into June looks like there's going to be a few more arguments and unsettlement, but as the month progresses, things turn around for the better, and some sort of fear or frustration that's been going on is finally sorted out. My cards are showing me that he's looking this way, she's looking that way. So if you're talking, she's talking to her friends or her sister, and he's talking to his brother or his sister or his mother or whoever he's talking to, but you're not talking to each other, things just won't work out. So I do see things coming to a head in June, possibly a bit of an argument, but then things sort themselves out because we have a positive letter here. This could be a legal document. It could be something that the couple has been waiting on. They've been waiting for some sort of finalization on something, and it's finally come through, and it's in the favor of these people. I feel it's more in the favor of the female than the male in this relationship because she's the one that's got it right beside her. So we'll just see what else we get here. Prick up your ears. Okay, so prick up your ears. It can be like spying, listening, listening in to what's going on. Now, in regards to a couple who might be, like if you're mum or dad and you're watching this right now and you're concerned about your child, listen to what's going on behind closed doors. Just prick up your ears and do some listening. If this is just a couple and who are engaged or they live in separate houses and they're in a relationship, this is listening. You got to listen and take things on board and not just sort of listen and go, oh yeah, and then it just goes in one ear and out the other ear. This is listening and really, really taking it on board with what you need to do next. You do have a profitable document sitting here, like things going in your favor that will make through June, you'll think that there's no end to it, but then it's showing a positive end to this thing. And be patient. You've got the patience here. Again, if you're dealing with children, it's telling you to have patience with them. They've been going through their own stresses, especially if they're teenagers or 20-somethings that still live at home. The COVID thing has changed the dynamics of everything, and it's put a lot of stress on some relationships and some homes. Have some patience. Have some patience with yourself too. Like there's things all got to be done differently now, and it's some people are not coping with the simplest of things and with what's happened, and that's okay. You know, you just got to have patience. Everything will come in its own good time, but do know that I feel that there will be some sort of reprieve here because there is a passing of a test or there is a legal document in your favor. You may have been struggling for a long time. It may have even been trying to get JobKeeper, Job Seeker, and it's finally coming around where you're getting it. Because this is it's not a payout, but it's something to do with something you've been waiting on, and it's positive. And the last card is about going with the flow, just sort of moving and moving through things, and just know that it will turn around. But this stress thing, I feel like I kept saying that I feel she's up in her head and she's holding things inside, but it is behind him as well. So it could be that he also is not speaking up at the moment. So I'll just grab a card from here, just to give a little bit more information. Oh, this is the love. So when the love thing comes up, it's a bouquet. It's like giving roses to someone, giving flowers to someone. I'm just getting a message at the moment that a male and female energy, they're coming through from the other side, and this is a message about the flower. It's something to do with something that you left. They're appreciating something that you left there at the grave or something like that. I'm just feeling something to do with that at the moment. They appreciate it and everything, and they're trying to say they're sorry for something, because this is here where they may have been irresponsible and you felt like they weren't there for you or something like that. They're trying to say that they love you and that by seeing this bouquet. And yeah, they've just jumped in here right now and they're listening as well. And they're telling you patience and go with the flow. Just try and go with the flow and step out of that turmoil you've got going on here, because I just feel that maybe both of you are looking opposite sides. He's wanting to do things one way. He's got the good emotional card sitting next to him. She's got more of the stress going on because this is going on up in her head. Her mind is busy. So she's just busy, busy, busy. And even when she goes to bed, her mind's still going. So it's causing tension here between the two of them. So maybe the bouquet is all about someone from the other side is saying, you've got a good relationship together. Spend some time with each other. Go with the flow. Have some patience in this situation right now. So for the month of June here, we had the business cards for number 2. We have this situation here, which is more of a personal one, and we had a bit of a mix match with the first section of cards. And the lucky cards were in section number 1. So that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed that.